Redchurch Brewery for their, I'll get there in the end, for their Shoreditch Blonde. It is a 4.5%. This was in their starter pack. And yeah, so it does say, and I'll read it out, our Belgian-inspired blonde beer, Saison yeast, is the star of the show and pairs with European hops to give a fruit and banana aroma. Ooh, does sound nice. Extra pale malt and wheat malt give a sweetness and a full body. So, that's that. Right. Click on restore. Right, here we go. Early doors on a Sunday. And I've just had the best meal as well, although I cooked it, so it would be decent, well-ish. So Shoreditch Blonde, not sure I've had this before. I did have some at the Redchurch a few years ago, but I'm not sure if I've actually reviewed this before. But then again, what I've reviewed in the past, you know, it's now that matters more than the past. As with any beer, really, because it's the stuff you're drinking now. It's no use listening to a beer review from 10 years ago, because beers change, you know, and that's the sad thing, really, with a lot of beers. They don't stay the same. So there we go, Redchurch Brewery. Good evening, or g'day. Yeah, so it's like a crap attempt at an Australian accent there, isn't it? So Redchurch Brewery, based, is it London? I'm not sure, actually. In Harlow, wherever Harlow is. Yeah, I know Nottingham. I don't know the rest of the country. I don't live there, so you don't really need to know in some ways. Well, that's better. Put the chat on. Good evening. So, a little bit early doors. I found a decent stream for Justice League, Zack Snyder. It's Essex. I thought it was. I just didn't want to say. Oh, there we go. So, golden colour pour. Yeah, I like the starter pack. I mean, some people may not have been overly, you know, infused with it, but I thought for 20 quid with the glass, 10 beers, 20 quid, all different beers. I thought that was a really good, you know, a good chance to taste their beer, see what you like, see what you don't. I mean, no mixed box is ever going to appease everyone. There's always going to be a few. Lots of carbonation on this little white head, hazy golden pour, or very light golden pour. I'm getting a Belgian vibe from it. Not like a full-on what you'd expect from the likes of Duvel, but it's trying to be it. Yeah, that's the glass that came in. So what they did a starter pack the other week, Redchurch did. And like I say, 10 different beers with a glass, 20 quid. And free delivery. Balmy. And if you were really, really clever, when you sign up, and I didn't do this because I just bought it. I seen the offer and I thought, I'm having that. Jobs are good. But if you see the offer beforehand, you can sign up, get a £5 off your first delivery. So what some people were doing, were getting a £5 off, then getting it for 20 quid delivered. So basically, 15 quid delivered for 10 beers in a glass. That is absolutely exceptional. They must have lost money doing that. You know, there's no way you're making money on that. But, good evening. But it's a good way of getting your beers out there in the public. And especially amongst beer reviewers. I mean, everyone's different. You know, some will probably pick it apart. Me, I try to look for positives where you can. So yeah, and into Belgian on the nose. I've just had a lovely Irish fry up. So I've had all the meats from Ireland. I've had sausages, mince that comes in a pound of it. You chop it in half and whatnot, and you squash it down to make it into like mince basically. And then white pudding, eggs, soda bread, Irish soda bread, or was it potato bread? Potato bread, mushrooms, I think that was, didn't have no black pudding this time, but yeah, oh dear, went down a treat. I can hardly move, but at least it will soak the beer up, and I won't fall asleep watching Zack Snyder's Justice League 4-hour film. I watched about 20 minutes whilst cooking. And I tell you what, if anybody watched Lord of the Rings, the films, they were great, 3 hours long, but another hour, woof. I doubt it. Hint of banana in the taste. Yeah, I was in Tesco's earlier, and I thought, while I'm here, I might as well try and get next week's beers. And then I thought, let's have a Legends night, because let's be fair, all 4 of them are absolute legends. And, you know, if anybody gets the same 4 and drinks them with me, you're going to be steaming. Because all 4 of them beers, you know, they're beers that get you drunk. Well, dark beers, but lots of different flavour amongst them. It'd be interesting to see which is the king of those beers. I might get 4 glasses and do like a tasting, you know, a battle of the legends. King Goblin has always been my favourite, but times change, you know, breweries change. It'd be interesting to see if anybody's played around with the recipes, gone cheaper. You know, you look at Fuller's London Pride last night, it definitely wasn't the same London Pride I had years ago. So whether or not, you know, that's to my palate. Whether my palate is wrong, God knows. Yeah, Battle of the Legends. And then in a week or two's time as well, Adnams and Adnams night, obviously with Broadside, you know, the king of the Adnams. Good evening, Isle of Arran Blonde. Sure, I've had one of them before. An Isle of Arran before. Yeah, you'll be steaming next Saturday. Looking out. 4 top class strong beers. Then again, I drank 4 last night that were strong. 4.7, 6.3, 6.5 and 8.3. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be a good night. Yeah. I did post it on the page. What it is, we're watching Justice League later, Zack Snyder. That's if it don't play up on me. Good evening. Pale ales in bottles. It's got to be all day long. Castle Rock's Harvest Pale. Absolutely amazing. On cask, it's truly exceptional. If you ever to come to Nottingham or locally, you get it on cask, try it. Absolutely exceptional pale ale. Other pale ales, oh, now you're asking. Hard to think of. You know, sometimes it's very hard to think of something just out of the box, but that one always resonates with me. The flavour, the aroma, the flavour. Just when the first time I drank it on draft, it was like, whoa, this is good, you know. And it was like 3.7%, and you're like, I like the strong stuff. How's this so good? Hopping Air. Yeah, it is decent, isn't it? Yeah. Badger need to bring out Concrake. I might have had that, you know. I've had a few from Orkney Brewery. Whether I've reviewed them or not, that's another thing. And the Vimto wine. Yeah, I'm hoping it does something. I'll know in a few days. I may have to go out and buy some wine yeast to make sure it gets over the line. We'll see. I'll give it a few days, see how it cooks, how the cookie crumbles. I can't get any wine yeast beforehand, because I'm at work. And I'm going boozing straight after work tomorrow night, so I won't be in any fit state to go around Wilco's. Well, 2 pints. I'm doing 2 pints at the pub and then coming back and doing a 4-beer review. Hey. And I may actually do a live review, or at least a bit of a live snippet from the pub. I just hope to God they've got some good decent draft on the go. Anyway. It's a nice enough beer to taste, But to call itself a Saison Belgian style beer, not so much for me. Still a nice taste, you know, but it's not floating anybody who's a Duvel drinker. 12 hours. Oh, bless you. Yes, it will be busy. No, I bought no, I bought the dilute. Yeah, I didn't bring fizzy pop. Shit. Okay, now imagine trying to boil all that. No. Yeah, no. Certainly not fizzy pop. No. Even though I'm not that daft. Yeah. It's growing on me the more you get into this. Like I say, it is a weak version of a Belgian style ale. It's only 4.5%. Let me read the back again. Yeah. Our Belgian inspired blonde beer. So yeah, Belgian inspired. So it's not try. It's oh, more in. Oh, nearly left some then. Jesus. Don't want to be doing that. Costs money. Yeah, it's obviously trying to give you a sense of the Belgian taste. And in that respect, you know, you've got to give it some credence in that way. A lot of people, me myself, 10 years ago, I was given free 30ml. I was given free Belgian beers for my 40th birthday, 9 years ago that would be. And I couldn't drink them. One was Duvel, and the other two escaped me, the names. One might have been bloody Hogarden. Shite beers on tap. This is a worry, isn't it? You know. How's Australia doing now then with the lockdown and that? Because you only see so much on the news. You only see bollocks on the news, don't you? You know, all the shit stirring that the BBC try and do. Yeah, they need to look after their own first, you know, sort out their Jimmy Saviles. Obviously, I'm not being bitchy. But yeah, you can't be calling everybody else if you know no good yourself. Yeah, no, bit of a twang there. Definitely get a hint of banana. Only a hint. It's okay. It's for a newbie Belgian style drinker, and I think this is where it's aimed at. For a newbie Belgian style drinker, it would be an interesting step onto that ladder. If you like me 9 years ago, if I tried Duvel then, I couldn't stand it. It was disgusting. Absolutely hated it. Yeah, Green King. Ooh. I mean, me and the wife, we're definitely going out on when you know when they're open inside. I'm going to try arrange a night out of our multitudes of friends who we haven't seen for a long time, and try and get a bit of a you know, a meet up in a pub. 6 or 7 of us, all sat together in a group, and have a good old chit chat. Put the will to rights as you do, and then they can take the piss out of me for doing beer reviews, which they bloody will. They'll be slaughtered. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Although, to be fair, I know Weatherspoons now have got a shitty name, but the one in Sherwood near me, it before COVID, it used to have a good selection on the bar, at least 15 different craft beers. You walk in, you're like, shit, what do I get? And there's so many, it's like, oh God, killing the sweet shop. And I may go back in there at some stage and do beer reviews, because there's an area where you can sit, and as long as no one's nearby, sneaky beer reviews. It's sad, isn't it? You know, at some stage the world can't carry on. You've got to let it run roughshod. You've got to let the vaccines do what they can, And then it's up to people to be their very best at keeping themselves safe in the end. You know, you can't keep this going forever. This locking the world down. It's not work. It's not. It's worked in some ways, but not in a lot of ways, you know. So, I'm still tasting bloody eggs, sausage, bacon, and mince. I am. Got to say, slightly the weakest of all the Redchurch I've had so far. It's okay, but it's certainly the weakest. I get where they're coming from. In my own interpretation of where they're coming from, I don't know. You know, who knows what they're thinking. But in my interpretation, this is like an entry level step into Belgian waters, and for that you can for them it's okay. Yeah, I mean, going forward with beers, flipping heck. I mean, for this channel, the beer review channel that I've got going, this time last year had about 470 people subscribing, and a year later I'm in a fantastic job. Life's much better. Got another grandchild. I've tasted some amazing beers, developed a great community, and joined the beer review community. And it's, you know, going forward, it should be a really good year. So, you know, COVID's not all been bad. It's been bad for some people, but not all bad. No, I've sucked a hell of a lot. Which is why I'm not touching any spirits at the moment. I'm trying to keep off the wine. Although I did have a glass earlier. I had a sneaky one. It's not chocolate. It ain't chocolate milkshake. It's a Barola. Good evening and happy Sunday to you as well. Yeah, it's. I mean, no, I don't know anyone who hasn't drunk more in the last year than they've ever done. You've been told off. Red card. Or is it a yellow? More of a yellow? It happens. Yeah. Me more than a little. I walked up the house last night and it is, you know, I wake up some mornings and I struggle. And then I pull myself to one side and think to myself, why the fuck are you, you're stressing? You've got a great life, great family, doing well monetary, we're never going to be well off, but unless we win the lottery. But we're doing well, and we've already got things planned for this year. Hopefully we're going to get to Alton Towers a week on Sunday, if the wife's cakes don't get in the way. And start going theme parks and drinking, and then start going to people's houses like we would normally do. And yeah, it seems good. Yeah, life. A lot of people in COVID have changed the way they are and embraced the rather shitty existence. But in that way, they've embraced and they've moved on. And sometimes in life, you just have to do these things. Draft machines, yeah. But that's where, as a traditional pub, you think outside the box. Oh, I know I dropped a can out the car the other week, and I managed to save half the can. It was a crappy cider anyway. Good afternoon. A cold afternoon though. Depending on where you are, it's Baltic in Nottingham. It really is. It looks great, but bless you. That's why I've got my beers down here in the beer room, so nobody's knocking them over apart from me when I'm drunk. So, hazy, blonde, golden pour, depends on what colour you see. Little white head, on the nose, very subtle Belgian style nose, and on the taste, there's a hint of bananas. To me, very much an entry level into the world of Belgian beers. A British interpretation of a Belgian beer, in my opinion. No, especially. No worse than knocking over a pint of wine or whiskey. Dear, you'd be crying, wouldn't you? I've spent all that money on that. I thought it was okay. Didn't float my boat as much as some of the others. I've tasted some great Redchurch beers, to be fair. Out of 5, ooh, for me, yes. I was going to say around about a 3.9. Well done. Yeah. It didn't. It still tasted okay. Not slagging it off for that, but it didn't float the raggy boat. You know, not every beer does it? You know, we can't all be highly love every beer we try. Right, I'll neck that. Oh, and on to the next review. Thank you all for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. Back in 2 minutes. Oh, and it's Baltic in here. Conor McGregor's whiskey. Get in. Yeah, that's women for you. Back in 2 minutes.